The year was 2016. 17 had only been in the industry for a few months. 13 passionate rookies, armed with nothing but talent and self-made music, began turning heads across the K-pop world. Their fresh energy, synchronized performances, and infectious personalities stood out in an industry crowded with new faces. Slowly but surely, all the effort, all the sleepless nights, all the battles they had fought to debut started turning into something tangible: recognition. The boys who once trained in a cramped room under a security camera were now standing on grand stages, accepting their first trophies.
Mnet Asian Music Awards World Performer winner is 17 축하합니다.
17.
세븐틴과 블록입니다.
네, 세븐틴입니다. 축하드립니다.
This is the story of 17 in 2016, the year they transformed from rising rookies into the most promising new artists in K-pop. On January 14th, 17 kicked off a new year at the Seoul Music Awards. With just a few months in the industry, they had already been nominated for 4 major categories: Best New Artist, Bond Song Award, Popularity Award, and the Hallyu Special Award. They opened their performance with their powerful B-side, Rock.
Round my head, round my head, round my head, round my head, girl. Round my head, round my head, round my head, round my head.
Then transitioned into Adore You, their cheerful debut single.
Down like a gyro drop.
One of the night's most unexpected highlights came when solo artist Jang Jae-in invited Wonwoo to join her on stage for a surprise collaboration. Later that night, 17 was announced as the winner of the Best New Artist Award, their first major trophy, and their first official recognition from the industry.
세븐틴입니다. 축하드립니다. 네. 만세를 통해서 16만 장 이상의 앨범 판매고를 올린 슈퍼 루키입니다.
네, 최근에는 미국 빌보드가 선정한 최고의 K-팝 앨범에도 이름을 올리며 세계 무대에서도 주목받고 있다고 해요.
그렇습니다. 세븐틴 다시 한번 축하드립니다. 멤버가 다들 너무나 멋지네요.
아니 정말 그 16만 장은 쉬운 게 아니거든요 이게.
네,
무서운 시인이네요.
16만 장 정말 슈퍼루키답네요.
슈퍼루키 맞아요. 예.
네, 지금 다들 멤버분들이 굉장히 감회가 새로우신 것 같은데 수상 소감 한번 들어볼까요?
그래요.
네, 일단
Just a few days after their big win at the Seoul Music Awards, 17's vocal unit released a special single titled Chocolate on January 19th.
감히 내가 사랑이란 말할 수 있는 유일한 girl, only you.
The track was a collaboration with singer-songwriter and producer Yoon Jong-shin. The soft, emotional ballad gave the vocal line a chance to showcase without choreography or flashy production. And more importantly, it marked one of the first moments where the benefits of 17's unit system stood out. Each unit specialized in a different musical style, which allowed them to attract fans with specific tastes, many of whom would eventually get hooked on the entire group. The very next day, 17 took the stage at the Golden Disc Awards, one of Asia's most prestigious music ceremonies.
좀 이상해
Seventeen was nominated for Best New Artist, Best Album, Korea Popularity Award, and Global Popularity Award, a major nod to both their domestic and international buzz. That night, they took home the Rookie of the Year award, marking their second major trophy in less than a week.
제30회 골든디스크 시상식 JTBC2 신인상 세븐틴.
It was clear that Seventeen was growing, not overnight, but steadily, and earning the recognition they had worked so hard for.
할 말이 많은데 정리가 잘 안 돼. 도와줘 SOS.
Less than a month later, Seventeen returned to their own stage with the Boys Wish Encore concerts, held on February 13th and 14th. An encore concert is a sign of growth. It means demand has exceeded expectations, and the group has proven themselves worthy of more. On February 14th, in front of a crowd filled with light sticks, cheers, and love, Seventeen made an announcement they had been waiting to share.
여러분들이 이름이 생겼습니다. 드디어 여러분들의 팬클럽 이름은 우리 리더 에스쿱스.
빠바밤빰빰빰빰. 드디어 이름이 생겼습니다. 여러분들이 저희를 항상 반짝반짝 빛나게 해줬잖아요. 그렇죠. 여러분들은 앞으로 저희들의 캐럿입니다. 자, 흉내 낼 수 없는 세븐틴 캐럿. Yes, I'm the diamond. 흉내 낼 수 없는 세븐틴 캐럿. 아니, 그렇죠. 저희와 캐럿들과의 관계는 아무도 흉내낼 수 없으니까요.
달라질 줄 알았던 모든 너가 그 모든 것들이.
One Fine Day is a popular reality show format in the K-pop world, where idols step away from their packed schedules to travel, relax, and show off their natural personalities. It marked their first reality program since debut, making them the group with the shortest time in the industry to be selected for a full season. At first, the members believed they were heading off for a peaceful healing trip. They arrived at the port, ready to board their boat with only minutes to spare, when the production team suddenly dropped a surprise. This wouldn't be a vacation, but a survival show. On February 17th, the group attended the 2016 Gaon Chart Music Awards. Known today as the Circle Chart Awards, this event is produced by the Korea Music Content Association, with support from the Ministry of Culture, Sports, and Tourism. Unlike fan-voted shows, these awards are based on concrete data: album sales, downloads, and streaming numbers across Korea. Seventeen performed Mansei and Shining Diamond, blending their youthful energy with the emotional resonance of their pre-debut roots.
지금이 빛나는 약속을 내 손에 이뤄줄게. Shining diamonds 널 빛낼게. We gonna shine like gold. Shining diamonds. Yes, I'm the diamond. 흉내 낼 수 없는 세븐틴 캐럿.
17 was nominated for 3 major categories: Artist of the Year, Album of the Year, and World Rookie of the Year. Though they didn't take home the first two, they were awarded World K-pop Rookie, recognizing their global impact as one of the most promising new groups of the year.
월드 루키 부문입니다. 세븐틴!
네, 세븐틴 축하합니다. 세븐틴은 지난해 2015년 데뷔한 신인들 중 유일하게 미국 빌보드 차트에서 선정한 2015 베스트 K-팝 앨범 9위의 이름을 올리며 말 그대로 월드 루키로 급부상했는데요.
최근 발매된 월간 윤종신의 세븐틴의 보컬 유닛이 참여해 실력파 신인임을 입증하기도 했습니다.
아, 많습니다. 예, 참 많아요. 자, 수상 소감 부탁드릴게요. 네. 세븐틴! 세븐틴! 안녕하세요, 세븐틴입니다!
On April 16th, 17 appeared on a show Music Core special stage, performing a medley of popular girl group songs. The group was praised for delivering each performance without altering or mocking the original choreography. They didn't masculinize the dances or change their appearance to fit the concept. Instead, they honored the original essence of the songs while still adding their own charm. A new era began with Love and Letter, 17's first full-length album, released on April 25th. The album featured 10 tracks, each written and produced by the members, showcasing their signature mix of heartfelt lyrics, addictive melodies, and sharp self-awareness.
지금 말하려고 해요. I can't take it no more. 편지를 쓰려다. I can't take it no more. 생각을 안 해. 그녀와 일이 점점 더 외로운 건지. 쌀쌀한 새벽 바람도 오늘따라도 외롭게 만드는데 자꾸 텅빈 것처럼 어딜 가든 내 생각은 다 되니까 생각이 나대. 모든 게 돌아와 주길 바라는 건 잘못된 일인 걸까. 우리 더 내려가 더 내려가 이 시간 속에 더 내려가. I'm broke 눈치 못 채 너 Can't take it no more 끌어올려서 또 Oh 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 Baby you are my angel.
벌써 내 짧고 뒤야가 되게 빨리 좀난 이 시간이 쉽게 가지 말게. 별들을 보면서 피고 빌어 1분인 것처럼 느끼게 하렴 Monday to Saturday 나 생각해 이 날이 선택됐으면 좋겠어 매일매일 이거 위리면 어떨까 상상하게 돼
눈 떠봐 우아해 가슴에 dance around 이제 준비된 사람들 여기 하나 둘셋 Bring it up 속에 묻혀 있던 날 위로 끌어올려 재밌을 때 시간이야
너가 내 사랑 쪽지에 다듬어서 저 하늘에 올리면 You know I can't get any better than this, babe.
The title track, Pretty You, continued 17's pattern of bright, feel-good music. Following the group's brief but impactful discography up to that point, Pretty You stayed true to their identity, fresh, playful, and effortlessly charming. Instead of centering the music video around choreography, Pretty You showed the boys having fun, joking around, and celebrating friendship. Love and Letter quickly proved its impact. The album sold over 80,000 copies in its first week, and by the end of the first month had reached 132,000 units, a massive leap from their previous releases. It peaked at number 3 on Billboard's World Albums chart and number 5 on Billboard's Weekly Albums chart, while Pretty You climbed to number 3 on Billboard's World Digital Songs chart, their highest position yet. In Korea, Melon was the number 1 music streaming platform at the time, the equivalent of Spotify or Apple Music in the West. A strong debut on Melon meant the song had truly reached the general public. 17's debut at number 3 on Melon with Pretty You was a massive milestone for such a young group. Beyond Korea, Love and Letter made waves in Japan as well, charting on Oricon, the country's most trusted music ranking system. Oricon plays a role similar to Korea's Circle chart, and charting there was especially surprising because despite having several foreign members, 17 didn't have a single Japanese member, nor anyone fluent in Japanese at the time. In an industry where local representation often plays a key role in overseas success, 17's early popularity in Japan was both rare and promising. But the milestone that meant the most came on May 4th, when 17 earned their first ever music show win on Show Champion with Pretty You. The track had been actively promoted across multiple music shows for over 2.5 months, and their consistent presence paid off. Competing against established acts like Block B, VXX, and fellow talented rookie group Twice, the win was both surreal and emotional. In K-pop, a music show win was a huge deal, proof of public recognition, sales, and fan support all aligning.
자 여러분 한 명씩 다 돌아가면서 수상 소감 할 거예요. 예. 시작. 자
일단 일단 대표님 너무 감사드리고요. 플래시 식구들 정말 너무 감사드리고 저 함께 고생하는 안무가 영준이 형, 혜림쌤 가족들 정말 다 감사드리고 우리 캐럿들 진짜 제일 고마워요 여러분들. 한 명씩 저희 너무 짧은 시간 안에 많은 사랑 받아서 아직도 과분한데 저희 믿어주셔서 너무 감사드리고요. 열심히 하겠습니다. 진짜 지켜봐주세요. 열심히 하겠습니다.
네, 우리 1등 만들어준 우리 캐럿들 정말 감사드리고요. 네, 우리 세븐틴 부모님들 정말 감사드리고요. 회사분들 모두 감사드립니다. 더 열심히 하는 세븐틴 되겠습니다. 감사합니다.
캐럿들 사랑해요.
정말 가수의 꿈 이루게 해주신 대표님 너무나 감사드리고요. 진짜 너무 믿기지가 않은 것 같아요. 너무 감사드리고 앞으로 겸손하고 더 열심히 하는 세븐틴 되겠습니다. 감사합니다.
자 쭉쭉. 네.
너무 감사드리고 항상 열심히 하는 세븐틴 되도록 하겠습니다. 감사합니다.
네. 하고 싶은 얘기 또 있어요? 하고 싶은 얘기 또 있어요? 자 있나요? 자 좋습니다.
일단 우리 사랑하는 캐럿들 너무 감사하고 谢谢，就是一直在我们前面支持我们的 Kero 们，就没有你们也没有我们这一次一位。然后
좋습니다. 우리 세븐틴 마지막인가요?
感谢所有支持我们的人，我们会一直努力的，我爱你们。
회식합시다.
정리가 잘안돼 너와 지금 SOS
내 멋진 날에 나에게 짠하고 나타나선 내 맘을 취하고 시선을 피하고 감사합니다. 인간 참 앞에서는 자꾸 들어가는 말 더 끝까지 차올랐던 그 말을 내게 꼭 하겠어 너 예쁘다
뒤에는야 배고프면 봐 너에는 나처럼 사전에 널 찾으면 나로 정의돼 좋겠단 말이야 오늘은 대체 어떻게 해야 돼
Just a week later, they won again.
네, 저번에 정신이 없어서 이 소감을 제대로 못했었는데요.
And with the release of their first full album, Seventeen began a new tradition. Each time they would release a full album, they would update their custom ring designs. For Love and Letter, they created new rings with the initials SVT and a diamond engraved to represent carrots. They even designed matching bracelets, which were later gifted to fans during their fan meetings, a symbol of gratitude and of the ever-growing bond between Seventeen and their fans. On May 21st, Seventeen attended the Asia Model Awards, where they performed Pretty You and received the Popular Star Award.
세븐틴입니다.
축하드립니다.
At this point, it was becoming a pattern. Every major event they attended ended with a trophy in their hands, usually for popularity or rookie recognition. On May 26th, Seventeen celebrated their first anniversary with a special live broadcast for Carrots. The boys took time to thank their fans, families, staff, and everyone who had supported them. They reflected on their first year, dreamed about the future, and wondered aloud what it would take to last 10 years in the industry, something that felt almost impossible at the time. Spoiler alert, they did it. And not only that, they keep getting better every year. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. What fans didn't know back then was that behind the scenes, that anniversary was also marked by something else. Seventeen's first major donation, made quietly, without cameras or media coverage. They used part of their first earnings to give back to those in need, just as they had done during their trainee years. It wasn't until 7 years later that this donation was revealed during their appointment at UNESCO. It marked the beginning of a long journey of quiet generosity, one that would eventually make Seventeen the first ever UNESCO Youth Ambassadors.
서로 믿고 의지하고 배우며 성장하던 세븐틴은 데뷔 다음 해인 2016년 가을 아주 행복한 일을 맞았습니다. 가수로 데뷔한 뒤 처음으로 정산을 받게 됐습니다. 큰 금액은 아니었지만 참 기뻤습니다. 이 기쁜 일을 누군가와 함께 나누고 싶었습니다. 멤버 중 한 명이 적은 금액이라도 좋은 일을 쓰면 어떨까라고 제안했습니다. 우리는 데뷔 기념일에 맞춰 세븐틴의 이름으로 작게나마 의미 있는 곳에 이 돈이 쓰이길 바랬습니다. 이제는 이 이름들을 아실 거라고 생각합니다. 네, 맞습니다. 저희 세븐틴 멤버 13명의 이름입니다. 그런데 이 이름은 저희가 아프리카 탄자니아에 있는 아이들에게 선물한 13마리 염소의 이름이기도 합니다. 저희는 멤버의 이름을 딴 염소를 탄자니아 어린이들을 위해 기부했습니다. 염소는 탄자니아 농촌 지역에서 생계를 유지시켜주는 주요 소득원 중 하나입니다. 아이들은 신선한 사냥류로 영양을 보충하기도 하고 새끼 염소를 팔아 학교를 가는 등 교육비로 사용하기도 합니다. 탄자니아에 염소를 보냈다는 사실을 잊고 연습에 몰두하던 어느 날 저희는 아주 감동적인 경험을 했습니다. 아프리카 대륙 그 먼 곳에서 이름도 나이도 모르는 탄자니아 어린아이가 염소와 함께 찍은 사진과 함께 편지를 보내왔습니다. 편지에는 이런 글귀가 쓰여 있었습니다. 꿈을 위해 염소를 잘 키울게요. 이 메시지는 저희의 눈을 오랫동안 붙잡았습니다. 특히 꿈을 위해 라는 짤막한 문구 앞에서 저희 멤버들은 한없이 숙연해졌습니다. 저희 역시 항상 꿈꿔왔거든요. 서로가 서로에게 때론 선생님이 되고 때론 따뜻한 조언자가 됐던 것도 우리의 꿈에 한 발짝씩 다가가기 위해서였습니다.
And today they're doing more than just performing. They're changing lives. Through scholarships, global campaigns, and youth-centered projects, 17 is helping young people around the world dream bigger. Because they haven't forgotten where they came from. Because they too were once just young kids with big dreams.
At 9 a.m., the line for KCON NY wraps around the block outside of the Prudential Center. The East Coast outpost of North America's largest K-pop convention doesn't start for another 2 hours. But people can't wait to be immersed in Korean pop music, or K-pop, and the fandom that surrounds it.
On June 24th, 17 attended KCON for the first time, an annual convention in the United States dedicated to Korean pop culture known as Hallyu. For rookie groups, being invited to KCON is a great chance to connect with international fans. 17 made the most of it. They met American Carrots, held a high-touch event, performed their own songs, and even did covers of other popular K-pop tracks. Seventeen's charm was starting to cross borders, reaching far beyond Asia.
어떤 사람이 말아줘 연애는 연애뿐이라고 그걸로 끝을 가져
그렇다면 시작점이 끝이 될 수 있게 너로 시작해 나로 끝낼 수 있게 맞잡은 두 손의 원처럼 우리 끝이 없네 아주 나이스
On July 4th, 17 released their first repackaged album, Love and Letter Repackage. It included all 10 songs from the original album, plus 5 new tracks.
뭐 하나 물어볼게. 나를 쓰지 않은 모든 것이 그저 간단했으면 해. 내게서 멀리 더 멀리 보이지 않을 때까지 Cause you're cool, yeah. Baby, cause of my happiness, yeah. I just want it simple, simple. I want it simple. 저 멀리 별이 날 이끌어, yeah. 내가 빛이 될 수 있음을 느껴 저 멀리 끝에 내가 원하는 게 있을지도 몰라 원하는 걸 얻는 건 내 같은 각오보다 수천 배는 힘들 텐데 그렇더라도 더 이상한 조바심을 낼 수 없어 난 다시 길을 잃는다면 나를 찾으면 돼 One, two 우주를 떠도는 기분 지나르길 다 수고했다 정리한 나도 기억대로 그래 꿈 같은 지금의 세상 끝까지 뛰어볼까 이 노래 알죠? 따라 불러
In its first week, it sold over 20,000 copies, and by the end of the month, sales had passed 89,000. The new title track, Very Nice, or as fans call it, Ashu Nice, was upbeat and energetic. It was written by Woozi, S-Coups, and Vernon, and composed by Woozi and Bumzu. Bumzu later shared that he composed the song in just 48 hours, working closely with Woozi. And it was S-Coups who came up with the now iconic phrase, Aju Nice. The song mixes bright horns, chaotic energy, capturing the wild excitement of teenage love.
하나 물어볼게 꿈에서도 너가 둥둥 떠다닐 것 같아 맞아 멋진 남자 되고파 피트니스 끄는 것 같아 맞아 연애가 처음이라 내가 긴장할 것 같아 너가 나의 모든 의문점에 대한 정답인 것 같아 궁금하게 있는데 어떻게 그리 예뻐 신호등만 건너면 맛있는 가게 있어 오늘 날씨 너를만 닮아 너에게 가는 길은 꽃길이 되고 보일 듯 내게 혼난 보인다면 온몸이 간 이 기분은 뭐야 어떡해 아주 nice 아주 nice
The music video, directed by Digipedi, showed the members explode with confetti and flower petals, literally, every time they felt something close to love. The choreography, created by Hoshi alongside professional choreographer Choi Youngjun, took things to the next level. Since then, Choi Youngjun has continued working with 17, helping design many of the group's most iconic and complex routines. Within a week, the video surpassed 5 million views on YouTube. On the charts, the song debuted at number 4 on Melon and reached number 2 on Billboard's World Digital Song Sales. It also entered Circle Chart at top 22 and remains a fan favorite. Aju Nice often climbs back into real-time Korean charts on random days, and especially during CSAT week, the college scholastic ability test in Korea. It's a stressful time for high school seniors, and songs like Aju Nice bring a sense of release, nostalgia, and joy.
고소한 풍미 부담 없는 칼로리
Surprisingly, Aju Nice didn't win any music show awards at the time, but who could have imagined that this song would become one of the most iconic in Seventeen's career? Over time, it became not only a signature track, but a defining anthem in all of K-pop. In 2023, Rolling Stone listed it among the greatest songs in the history of Korean music. Since 2018, Aju Nice has become Seventeen's official encore song. That means it's the track they perform at the end of their concerts.
아주 나이스가 앵콜에만 나올 거라고 생각하지 마십시오. 아주 나이스. 모두 자리에서 일어나서 따라 불러. 아주 나이스. 안 일어나면 오빠들 들어갈 거예요. 들어간다. 아주 나이스. 왼쪽. 센터 모두 아주 나이스. 진지한데 다가오지 말고 오늘 난 말야 준비됐어? Everybody jump! 아주 nice! 아주 nice! 아주 nice! 우리
本日はお越しくださいまして誠にありがとうございます。お気をつけてお家に帰ってください。アジュ
The guys have performed Aju Nice up to 20 times in a single concert.
아주 나이스.
아주 나이스.
나 말야.
아주 나이스.
했는데 아주 나이스.
아주 나이스.
세븐, 세븐틴. 아주 나이스.
아주 나이스.
에이. 아주 나이스.
아주 나이스.
수고 많으셨습니다. 아주
아주 나이스. 아주 나이스.
아주 나이스.
아주 나이스.
아주
아주 나이스.
When you're hiding from the never-ending Aju Nice.
노래를 잘하는 것 같다고요? 노래 잘하는 캐럿이 있어요?
But then you get found.
아주
조용히가 뭡니까 그래도. 이러다가 죽어. 지금까지 안 돼.
And it comes with a rule. If carrots want to hear "Aju nice" 20 times, they have to jump, sing, and scream 20 times too. You can't slack off, because police Boo Sung Kwan will be right there in the front row, making sure no one gets lazy. Going to a 17 concert means two things: pure joy and a full-body cardio workout. So if you ever get lucky enough to go, warm up your voice, because one of the best vocalists in K-pop will hand you the mic.
뭐야 어떻게 쓴 거나? Nice!
After wrapping up promotions for Very Nice, 17 stepped off the music show stages and onto the concert stage once again. On July 30th and 31, they held Like 17 Shining Diamond at the Olympic Hall in Seoul, performing for 7,000 fans each night. Then, just a few days later, 17 brought Like 17 Shining Diamonds to Japan. On August 5th, they performed 2 concerts in Osaka on the same day, followed by 3 shows in Tokyo from August 6 to 7. Around 2,600 fans attended each show, and although they had yet to officially debut in Japan, their popularity was already spreading fast. Then, on August 13th, 17 kicked off their very first Asia tour, titled Shining Diamond, which ran until September 11th, 2016. Over the span of 1 month, they visited 9 cities across Asia and Oceania, including Singapore, the Philippines, Indonesia, Thailand, Australia, New Zealand, Hong Kong, China, and Taiwan. Nearly 20,000 fans attended the tour in total. On October 12th, 17 landed their very first brand deal, becoming the official models for the American perfume brand Clean. The company chose them for their fresh and youthful image, something that matched the brand's identity perfectly. On October 21st, 17 released 17 Hits, their first ever best album, also known as a compilation album, with a total of 16 songs. The album was released exclusively for Taiwan, marking another step in 17's growing popularity across Asia. As the year neared its end, 17 entered the most important season in K-pop, award show season. In this industry, the biggest music awards typically take place between November and January, where the best performances, sales, and achievements of the year are recognized. On November 16th, 17 took the stage at the Asia Artist Awards, where they performed Pretty You, and for the very first time at an award show, Aju Nice. They were nominated for Best Star Award and Popularity Award, and ended the night by winning Best Star. Just 3 days later, on November 19th, they attended one of Korea's most influential ceremonies, the Melon Music Awards. These awards are hosted by Melon, Korea's largest music platform, and winners are determined through a mix of digital data, online fan voting, and judges' evaluations. That night, 17 lit up the stage again with Aju Nice. They were nominated for Best Dance and MBC Music Star Award, and proudly took home the MBC Music Star Award. This streak of recognition, from both the public and the industry, wasn't going unnoticed. On November 30th, 17 was selected as the cover of Dazed Korea, marking their first ever appearance on the cover of a major fashion magazine. On December 2nd, they returned to the Mamas, this time held in Hong Kong. They were nominated for Song of the Year, Album of the Year, Best Male Dance Performance, and World Performer, and took home the World Performer Award, a sign of their growing global impact. That night, 17 gave fans a surprise performance of Boom Boom, their brand new title track, just 3 days before its official release. And just like the previous year, they performed as part of a special collaborative stage, this time with fellow 2015 rookies G-Friend, a girl group under Source Music. Much like their friendship with Monsta X, this joint stage was the beginning of something special. Both groups had debuted in the same year, were close in age, and had gone through similar struggles in their early careers. So the bond between 17 and G-Friend grew strong behind the scenes. Some of the members were even classmates before debut. Over time, many members became close friends, especially Seungkwan, who formed an inseparable bond with Sinbi and Umji that still lasts to this day. G-Friend became one of 17's most sincere friendships, not built on media appearances or business arrangements, but on trust, shared memories, and mutual respect.
찾을 수 있어. 또 우리 와! 우리 되게 해보겠습니다. 자, 98 친구분들. 오케이. 어느 날마다 아주 나이스.
And this wasn't an exception for 17. It was part of who they were. The group quickly gained a reputation for their genuine friendships across the K-pop industry. In a space often marked by intense competition, they stood out for their warmth and constant support toward their fellow artists. This spirit of camaraderie would become one of 17's defining traits, and a big part of why so many came to admire them, both on and off stage. On December 5th, 17 closed out their hectic 2016 with a new release. Their third mini-album, Going 17, featuring 8 new songs.
우리 캐럿들은 꿈에서 깨어나더라도 정말 내가 네 맘에 있다면 너가 어디에 있든 I'll be there, yeah.
I'll be there. 네 맘엔 항상 내가 있어. 서로 힘들 때라면 더욱더 함께 할게 my girl.
둘이서 함께 걷던 너와 날 이젠 찾을 수 없어. 추억 속 quickly 빠른 걸음으로 걷는 너를 맞춰줄 수 없는 내가 너처럼 빨리 걷는다고 멀어져 계속 멀어지는 너나 이렇게 둘이서 going we're going 너와 나 둘이 going we're going 이렇게 둘이 going we're going 너와 나 이렇게 둘이서 going we're going 너와
듣지 말아요 들리지 않을 노래
그런 노래가 된대도
웃을 수 있고 너라서 울 수도 있어. 그렇게라도 못할게 어디 있어. 마지막이란 말 하지마. 영원히 내가 너의 곁에 남아 있을 테니.
This comeback marked a subtle but meaningful shift in their musical direction. The title track was written by Woozi, S. Coops, Wonwoo, Mingyu, Vernon, and Boomzu, and composed by Woozi and Boomzu. Unlike their previous comebacks with softer or more playful tones, Boom Boom was high energy and bold, an addictive track with a dynamic, layered sound that aimed to showcase a more powerful side of 17. But perhaps the most impressive highlight of this comeback was the choreography. 17 proved once again why they're known as the most synchronized group in K-pop. Even with 13 members on stage, every move was perfectly timed and executed. The album sold over 131,000 copies in its first week and surpassed 223,000 by the end of the month. Going 17 peaked at #1 on the Korean Circle chart and reached #3 on Billboard's World Albums chart in the US. The group promoted the song on music shows for about a month, earning 3 well-deserved music show wins.
하늘이 높고 바람은 차고 바다가 넓고 푸른 것처럼 내 눈에 너가 그쳐도
나 진짜 슬픈 노래 한번 해보고 싶었는데 진짜 우리 노래에서
슬픈 노래 맨날 못했으니까
꿈을 이뤘다. 하나의 또 꿈을 이뤘네.
우선은 이 노래가요, 제가 원래 힙합 팀인데 이 곡은 이제 모두 멤버들이 노래를 부르는 거예요. 항상 세븐틴이 하던 청량청량하고 약간 또 소년 같은 그런 느낌보다는 약간 조금 더 성숙하고 약간 이런 느낌의 노래.
웃음꽃. 우리 막 떨어져 있고 막 이렇게 떨어져 있어서 슬퍼도 그래도 서로 생각하면서 함께 웃음꽃 피워요. 그대 미소의 봄이 될게요.
주변에 이렇게
이런 노래.
좋은 인연들이 많잖아요. 그런 좋은 인연들이 있는데 이렇게 지금 되게 행복한데 되게 좋은데 만약에 이게 지속이 뭐 안 되면 어떡하지라는 그런 막연한 생각들이 들 때가 가끔 있으니까 그런 거를 우리가 만약에 함께 있지 못하고 떨어지게 되더라도 언제나 항상 어디에 있던 함께 웃음꽃 핍시다. 함께 항상 언제나 행복합시다라는 그런 긍정적인 좋은 에너지를 담고 있는 곡이에요.
If there's one thing that defines 17's journey, it's steady, undeniable growth. As you've seen through their views, sales, awards, and performances, nothing about their rise was overnight. their fame didn't explode out of nowhere. It was built piece by piece through patience, consistency, and self-improvement. They didn't chase trends or compete for the spotlight. They focused on becoming better than they were yesterday. Because 17 doesn't compete with anyone else. 17 only competes with 17, and it's that quiet determination, their slow but steady rise, that turned them into one of the most respected, loved, and unstoppable forces in K-pop today. And the truth is, we just getting started.
함께라서 웃을 수 있고 너라서 울 수도 있어 그렇게라도 못할 게 어딨어
언제 어디에 있어도 함께하지 못해도 우린 늘 그렇듯 웃음꽃 피워요 그대 미소에 봄이 돼줄게요 아낌없이 난 늘 너에게 받기만 하는 것만 같아 그래서 눈물 나도록 고맙고 더 미안해 꽉 안아주고만 싶어도 왠지 모르는 불안함에
망설이는 거 뭔지 이러고 싶지 않은데 하늘이 높고 바람은 차고 바다가 넓고 푸른 것처럼
내 눈엔 너가 그저 당연하게 바라봐질까봐 그게 불안해서 이러는 것만 같아 널 잃어버릴까봐 부디 넌 나가지 않기를 Oh no 함께라서 웃을 수 있고 너라서 울 수도 있어 그렇게라도 못할 게 어딨어 마지막이란 말 하지마 영원히 내가 너의 곁에 남아있을 테니
제일 소중한 캐럿들